And today we are talking about lessons that we have to take from TataMkhulu. Now, perhaps we need to start from the beginning, right, and conceptualize this thing. TataMkhulu, right? The reason I'm actually laughing is that most of us learn lessons from our older generations. Now, the lessons that we have to take from TataMkhulu with some examples, right?
Yeah, basically, when you talk about knowledge, more often than not, we think that knowledge must come from the West. When it comes to relationships, well, I like John Gray, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. But also, we have got our own philosophers in Africa who actually taught us about matters of the heart. We have got sayings in each and every language that actually talks about matters of the heart. For example, in Shangaan, there is a saying that mabala ya yingwe imabala yangwe. Which means that the spot of the tiger are the same. It means that women are the same. In terms of their behavior. And that's very important for one to actually understand. That regardless of as to whether a woman is educated or not educated, basically they are the same. The same gender. Like if she's abused, it doesn't matter as to whether she's educated or not educated. She wants to be loved. She wants to be beautiful, and that's the wisdom that actually comes from our people, and we need to tap onto that wisdom. And today we are going to talk about TataMkhulu in terms of the matters of the heart.
Now, John Gray, right? He talks about something very interesting. He says he dismisses the claim that a man who tries to understand women should be ignored.
Yeah, absolutely. Finally, in the past they were saying that a woman is something complicated. And then a man who tries to understand a woman should be ignored because apparently you won't actually understand what a woman is. And someone like what's her name? I've forgotten her, but she said there's no answer. There's never been an answer. There'll never be an answer. And that's the answer. It means that you cannot actually understand women. And that's not the truth. John Gray is trying by all means to make men understand women and trying to make men to understand, men to understand women and women to understand men. Because we are coming from different planets. We are the same. We are equal. We are equal but different. We are differently wired.
Exactly. I wanted to come to that point. That what could be those things that makes us being wired differently? Like if there's something that one can be able to point out to say, perhaps there's a need why we have to be wired differently.
Yeah, for example, how do you actually deal with emotional issues? When you're angry, how do you deal with, challenges? How do you deal with, tragedy? And then those issues would actually, give you an opportunity to know exactly who you are. For example, as I said in this show, for example, when men face challenges, they just go into a shutdown. They shut down.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk about it.
Yes.
And on the other side, women, when they're faced with challenges, they want to talk to other women. They want to talk to their friends and that. And we are actually wired differently,
Yeah, because you see, that's the point that I wanted to also come into, which says women will actually ventilate, right? And then we go to this hiding place that Vision actually likes a lot.
The cave.
At the cave. And when you are in the cave, you don't need to be disturbed, right?
Yes. Don't bother me.
When must you be bothered, though?
When I come out of the cave, when I'm ready to talk.
But the thing is, the woman might not know that you don't want to be disturbed in that cave.
Don't. Now they know. Don't come to the cave.
Yeah, they know. They know that once a man is in the cave, you don't disturb him.
Don't come to the cave.
So Dr. Mathebula, why is it that women are like money? Why is it that... they're like money.
Without them, you'll be miserable.
Yes.
And also, when God created men and women, He wanted the world to be a paradise. That's why Adam, when he saw Eve for the first time, he said, "Bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh, I'll call a woman." He was so excited, and we need to bring that excitement into our relationship, whereby when you look at your woman, you need to look at her and say, "Bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh," and be excited. And then, but now we've taken away that excitement, where when you see a woman, you see someone to abuse, you see someone to exploit, you see someone to kill. Now we need to grow up women in what I call a man like Adam, who will actually look at a woman and admire her. Someone who look at her and appreciate her. Someone who's actually look at her and sing to her. Someone who's going to charm her. You know? As opposed to this type of a person who's a monster. Women don't want a monster. They want a lover. You still remember that song by Michael Jackson?
Oh, yes.
When he said, "I'm not a lover. I'm not a fighter, but a lover." And I think that slogan, we need to bring it. Men must not be fighters, but lovers.
But lovers. Eh?
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. So often than not, women are actually misunderstood by men, Dr. Mathebula, right? And the interesting thing about this misunderstanding, it gives the impression that women are difficult.
Women are difficult or disrespectful.
Yes.
For example, a woman might actually say to you, man, you are useless. You spend your entire money on alcohol.
Yes.
That's not what she's actually saying. She's not saying you are useless. She actually says, please pay attention on how you manage your money. But if you don't actually understand, you'll say, "Lumfazi uyadelela." And then according to TataMkhulu says that if, for example, if you have slept with a woman, she can say anything to you. And when you actually think uyadelela, she can say anything. It's a license. The mere fact that you have slept with her, it means that you have got a license. She can say anything. But when you actually say "Umfazi uyadelela," that's why in Shangani there is a saying. They say "Wansati angana hosi," which actually means that even if maybe you are a ruler, you'd always be charmed by a woman. It doesn't matter who you are.
So the license is but I like the fact that it is actually a license, right? To say, now that this thing has actually happened, you can say whatever you want to say. because that's what TataMkhulu observed.
Yeah, she can say anything to you because she loves you. For example, if you have got an extramarital relationship and she discovers and she becomes angry and said "Angsangfuni" or something like that when you are bored on that, she doesn't mean that. She loves you. She wants to correct the situation. When you need to understand the unwritten rule.
So as men, should we underestimate, for instance, the power of women?
TataMkhulu says, "Mina ndiyamyika umuntu ongayiki umuntu wesimami." Which in other words, if you are a man and you underestimate the power of women, you are stupid. Because women have got their own way of monitoring things. For example, if you have got a relationship, a woman would actually see that you have got a relationship. She can see the behavior change and everything. Now, such a person is very intelligent, and you must not actually underestimate her power. And then and TataMkhulu says you need to respect her. But if maybe you're going to underestimate the power of women, you're going to have a problem. I mean, I know so many men who were very successful. And when things went sour in their relationships, those women actually came up and they say, "But this is how my husband used to do things." They can destroy you. They can love you and they can destroy you. That's a double-edged sword. Now, what you need to do as a man, you need to love them and respect them. And I mean, the Bible puts it very, very clear. They say men must love their wives or whatever, and women must actually respect, but that is reciprocal. It has to be a
reciprocated, yes,
action. A man who loves his wife or his girlfriend or his lover will always be respected. That's it. But if you don't love her, you must not expect her to respect you. It's a transaction. You love, you are respected. And then you don't love, you are not respected.
So, which brings us to this issue. Why is it that we have no options but to extol her? Dr. Mathebula?
Yeah, that's what we were meant. A man must love. You know, love is not actually negotiable. You must actually love. And love is a beautiful thing. As I always said, love is something that is from God, but we owe him the management of that love. You know, God will actually give you love to love this woman, you know. But the management of that love is your responsibility. God is not going to say to you, you must kiss this woman how many times per day, you must make love to her how many times per day. The management is your responsibility. And a lot of people, they mismanage their relationships and they go to God and cry to God and say, but why did you give me that woman? You are the one who failed to manage the relationship. God is not there to manage your relationship. He's there to give you love. Yeah. Where now you need to manage that love.
And you see, the interesting thing about a woman is that she's capable of melting, your hearts, Dr. Mathebula.
Yeah. Well, a woman can melt even the heart of a statue.
Yeah.
Yeah, a woman can melt the heart of a statue.
Yeah.
And then now, if you are a true man, you'll actually love. That's why we need to take this monster out of men and give them a new heart, a heart to love, a heart to appreciate. Like that situation, as I mentioned, Adam, when he say bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh, and I'll call a woman. It's not God who called a woman a woman. It was Adam because he was excited. I'll call a woman.
Now, how should a man satisfy a woman, Dr. Mathebula?
Well, you have to satisfy a woman holistically. Emotionally, what we say, materially, and also sexually.
Yes.
Because there's no need for you to have all these things if you can actually meet her needs. I still remember when I was working for the SABC, I had a colleague of mine. One day she said to me, she had she met a boyfriend, and then she was going to see the boyfriend, and then on Monday when I saw her, she was very angry with me, and I said, "What happened, my friend?" And then she said, "Hey, you know what? That guy, there was nothing." And I said to this guy, she was so angry, and that guy was moneyed. He had money, he had everything, he had a house, he had everything, but he could not perform. And for example, now you need to meet the needs of a woman holistically.
So vision, right? When Dr. Mathebula said, and there was nothing, there was really nothing
at all.
That's what she said, because I was not there. But she was, I saw her on Friday because she was going to meet the man. And then on Sunday we met on the bus, and then she was angry. And she said, I said to the guy, please take me home, because there was nothing.
So, Dr. Mathebula, what makes fertile ground for a man in the bedroom?
Well, the men in the bedroom, when you go to the bedroom, there must be performance management. You need to perform.
There must be KPA.
Yeah, there must be performance management. As I said last week, that in the past, in Africa, we had a monitoring mechanism whereby they'll actually take a box of matches and give it to a woman. And then when you went for the first round, she'll actually take one stick and put it there. The second round, just like that. And in the morning, she'll actually take those sticks and give them to
the elders,
to your mother, and say, this is how he performed last night. And then they'll actually say, man, this is a man. Yeah. But if maybe she gives one stick, now it must go to the father, and the father will say, "Hey, you know what? Maybe these guys need some imbiza."
So they have to imbibe on something.
Yeah, baby. There must be some intervention. But now we don't monitor our relationships anymore. That's why there are some people who do some colossal flops, and we don't know what is happening.
Exactly. So, Dr. Mathebula, in any case, if you embark on a journey. Is it necessary to warm up the woman?
Yeah, that's it. That's why a woman is not a machine. And when you want to embark on a journey, you know, you need to warm her up. She needs to be warm because, and also you must also understand that the question of sex does not actually happen when you are in the bedroom. You know, it must happen during the course of the day. You know, how are you? You know, I miss you, I love you, and the like. You know, that's how you make fertile grounds. You know, you holding, kissing, and blah blah blah. And also, you'd be surprised that it's not always the case where women need some penetration. At times, she wants you to hold her. She wants to listen to those words. You know, but if maybe, for example, you are going to when you just go into the whole thing, you are now raping her. This is not a rape. This is a woman. This is not a rape. This is a woman. This is your woman. She's not going to run away. Vision. She's not running away.
She's not.
She's not going to run away.
So, Dr. Mathebula, is it offensive to use dirty language?
No, dirty language is for lovers. You know, because at times, you have to exercise decorum, when you are in some forum. But when you are in your bedroom with your lover, you can say anything. And that language is very important.
Exactly.
Because as I said, if you read my article yesterday in the Star, I said Shona Ferguson loved publicly, but he managed his relationship privately. Private management of the relationship, that's very, very important. So you can say anything to your lover, because if you don't, other people are going to say it to her. It's like when you don't tell her how much you love her, other men are going to tell it for. It's a role that is going to be taken away from you.
So affirmation, Dr. Mathebula.
Absolutely, affirmation. Affirmation. You must tell her how much you love her.
And the interesting thing is that if she's told by somebody else, so a part of you that she used to carry with will be going to somebody else, Dr. Mathebula.
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't tell her how much you love her, other men are going to do it for you.
In fact, I think it's more for themselves. Perhaps maybe the question that we have, do you love, openly? You can hit us up 0624508619. We are with Dr. Mathebula. The good thing is he is in the studio today.
But Stan, I always said to you that at times you say right words, but in a wrong tune. Some men they don't say to their women that they love them. They only talk about love when there's conflict. When there's conflict, you are how? You are saying the right words, but in a wrong tune.
And the way you say it, you are actually fighting, Dr. Mathebula.
Yeah, you are fighting. Yeah, you have to But why can't sing Yaktanda when the situation is okay? When I was working for the radio stations, some men called me and said, "Hey, you know what? I love my woman, but you know what? We are not used to saying that, in terms of our culture." But when you proposed love to her, you said you loved her, and you didn't actually put culture into the whole thing.
Exactly.
So why do you use culture, as an scapegoat? When you have to love and say, but according to my culture, I don't have to hold hands. But when you propose love to her, you didn't bring culture. You didn't say, according to my culture, when you agree to my proposal, we're not going to hold hands. We're not going to do this. I'm not going to say that. Don't use culture, as a scapegoat.
Especially in the bedroom, Dr. Mathebula.
If you can't perform, you can't perform. And don't use culture.
So, Dr. Mathebula, the kids are not at home. It is just the two of you, right? And walking naked the whole time. Vision is very quick to say, okay.
Yeah, it's okay. The kids are not at home. I think you are on the second step.
Yeah.
You are naked. No, you are not. Firstly, the kids are not at home. Now, what you do, you peel off her clothes. You peel off her clothes. And you become naked. That's why Adam and Eve, they were actually naked. Because your husband and wife, or your boyfriend and girlfriend,
So there are no secrets.
Yeah, that's the freedom that you have, and you must use it.
Optimally, Dr.
Yeah,
Mathebula.
you must use it.
Yeah, Dr. Mathebula, today we don't have a vocabulary cabinet. What do we have?
We have got quotable codes. The first one, I think I alluded to it, from Gertrude Stein. There is no answer. There's never been an answer. There'll never be an answer. And that's the answer.
Vision, can you repeat that?
He said that before. I remember the first time.
And then the second one, it's that it is not the heights to which a man climbs that matters, but the depth from whence he came. So when I see Stan today as a successful person, I must not look at the heights. I must look at the depth. Where do you come from? If I see you as an operational manager, I must not look at operational manager. I must look at the depth. Where do you come from? But more often than not, we look at the height and we ignore the depth. I thank you.
You see, when a doctor and he's talk with, I thank you.
We are thankful.
Why not? No, we are thankful, Dr. Mathebula.
Because I just thought it's a pleasure. It doesn't sound right.
Is it?
In this regard.
Oh, okay. Dr. Mathebula, you had the young man. I know the young man is learning quite a lot, right?
Yeah.
He's also teaching us quite a lot, because this is a reciprocal.
So now the question now is towards you, Vision.
Yes, sir.
When are you planning to walk naked in the house?
No, I don't know. Maybe again or.
Oh, okay, but I like that. Did you hear what he said? He said, you mean again or?
Or next time. That's what I'm just saying.
It is 9:02 right at VMC Planet Radio with Mr. Stan and Vision. It is exactly half past, right?